What we're going to show you here today is the installation of a chair stop. Chair stops are used on the back or the front of stage decks for a couple of reasons. What we're going to show you right now is just how to install it, but in this case we're just putting it on the front of the stage to show you how it goes on. But for real applications, they're mostly used in multi-level seating risers, so the chairs, especially with angled back chairs, will not slide off, and we will show you a little later in this video how that application works. But what we really want to show you here is when we make our extrusions, our stage extrusions, these are all machined on a CNC machine. So we put in every hole possible for every application that we'd ever use these stage decks for. So when we ship the decks out, in this case right here, this little plug right here, this would be where we would attach our guardrail. In this case right here, this plug is filling the hole where we would put our chair stop. So these little plastic buttons can just push out by hand. If not, you can just use a little screwdriver. See how easy that came out? You can just see the hole right there, okay? And there's gonna be one across the front here, and we'll just pull this one out. This one was a little tougher, but that came right out, okay? So then you're just gonna take your chair stop, and most times you're putting it on the back, so we're doing this backwards here. It's just gonna fit on the top there like that. You're gonna line up the hole. You're gonna come through right here. There we go. And we're just going to attach it like this, okay? Now keep in mind, this would normally be on the back of the stage, so you're not going to see this right here, okay? So this fits snug on there, that's it. Come back and do the other side just like this. And that's it. Quik Stage portable staging and accessories are very, very simple to attach. We do everything really with just bolt through. It's the simplest, it's the least expensive way to do it, and it works for us. Some companies do all kinds of clamps and fancy things. We find just keeping it basic keeps the price down. Anybody can put it on and anybody can understand it. So that's how we do it. So we showed you how to install this chair stop. We took the little plugs out. So if you know that you're not going to be using them again, just put the plugs back in. Again, it's just a matter of just snapping them in place like that. Gives it a finished look. Obviously, they don't have to be there, but we like to have everything that makes it look professional. It's always finished, and that's it. Then you're back to normal again. And if you need to apply or attach a chair stop again, here we've added the front deck to make this multi-level to show you really the true application of how this chair stop works. So we've attached it to the back of the stage in front of the one level in front of it. So what it's going to do, and we're going to show you here shortly, we'll put a chair here and show you how with an angled chair, how the legs can't go back underneath there, okay? This also could be used on the back of a stage. Let's say that you didn't want to use guardrails, you didn't want something to slide off. Sometimes our stage decks are used as mobile offices, with office chairs or desks. It would just keep somebody from sliding off the back or rolling off the back, or just creating some sort of stopgap. So here we've placed a chair up on the first level here, up against the back of the chair stop, and we've selected a chair with the angled back of the legs. And if that chair stop wasn't in place, you'd see that angled leg could actually go into that gap. Right here we've got a 8-inch rise. Our stage is 3 3/4 inches thick, so you got about a 4 1/4 inch gap there. A chair could actually go in there. So chair stops are necessary. I know it's an added expense, but they serve their purpose and they serve them well. And if you've got a seating riser, you really do need to buy them. We just showed you in the last segment where having the chair stop, where when it was installed, where the legs went up and stopped. Look what happens when we don't have this chair stop here with this angled deck. See the gap there? That's what happened. That's why it's necessary to have the chair stop in place for safety and the protection of your patrons or your choir members or anybody that's using the stage. We showed you the chair stop on the front of the stage. You actually could, we make them in all sizes. Let's say that, for example, this was a 3x6 deck. We make them in any size to match the deck that you need. But you could actually have one on the end here if you wanted to. Sometimes at lower levels, rather than use a guardrail, they'll just do these to keep the chairs from sliding off the edge this way. So maybe at the 8-inch level or 16-inch level. It would cause a trip hazard if somebody was coming over that way, but it would just keep the deck from sliding off, or the chair from sliding off the edge like that. So it would be a good idea. In most cases, on multi-level seating risers, you have to check with your local municipalities and their codes, but typically once you get past the second level, you should be using a guardrail system, and the Quik Stage guardrails come standard with a chair stop built into it. So that will be part of the guardrail system and would serve the same purpose. Guardrails are always attached to the ends or the back of the stages, or I guess you could even put it across the front if that's what you wanted to do, but in most cases they don't guardrail the fronts, just the sides. Sometimes churches or schools will put guardrails on the ends of all levels, even if they're starting at 8-inch rises. I keep referring to an 8-inch rise here, but we sell many seating risers and multi-level risers with many different heights, 4-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch, 5-inch, whatever rise you need to accommodate whatever your codes are or your application.